Hey everybody on YouTube. Today I thought I'd do another vintage video repair update. I'm getting a lot of questions about the video unit that I'm working on. It's a Sanyo VTC-7100. This is one of the most difficult VCRs you could ever work on. The biggest problem is parts. Getting parts for this thing is a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. I was provided 3 units for parts, and of course they're all very bad condition, suffering from the same issues: bad parts, shorted out parts, parts that are dried out, or broken springs or gears or whatever. This particular model was a one-off model made by Sanyo. There is no substitute for parts. There is no substitute for this unit. It's a very rare machine. But I am making a lot of progress on this, and I wanted to make this video because I know Dino is very well aware. He's watching my videos. Just want to let him know what it actually takes to service something this rare. It's a very rare unit, very difficult, but we're making a lot of progress. I want to point out, as you can tell, I do very neat work. A lot of people say, do I just, put it all together and don't worry too much about how it looks. I care about how it looks as well as how it works. I'm very neat when when I do my soldering, when I do my connections, when I actually put heat shrink wrapping or heat tubing around my connections to make sure they don't touch any other connection. That's very important when you're rewiring connectors and various things. But I do very neat work. A lot of people who have seen my work say I'm very tidy with the way I do my electronic soldering and put things together, and I want to thank you very much for saying that. I do very neat work, and I just think a neat, organized machine is a proper working machine. That's just my philosophy. But anyways, a lot of people out there who solder and work on electronics, they're not very neat, and sometimes things touch each other, and you have a bigger problem than when you started working on it in the first place. If anything touches in the wiring to something else by mistake, you're at risk of burning the unit up, burning the section of the particular connection that you might have, touching something else in that area, and sometimes it's even worse because some of those ICs and various things that's on the boards, like in this case, you can't get anymore. It's virtually impossible. There's some very unique ICs on this unit, and you just cannot get them anymore. And and it was one of the big failures on this machine. And unfortunately, all 3 of them suffer from the same problems. So I had to do a lot of research, doing a lot of begging, borrowing, and stealing from people. Especially in Europe, because this was a pretty prevalent machine in Europe. I found several places like on eBay and stuff that had quite a few of the parts that I needed. Specific ones I just absolutely couldn't find. So this has taken a long time to work on this machine, but it's going to be worth it once I get done with it. But it's a very difficult unit. And I just want to give everybody a heads up on this particular machine. If you got a VTC-7100, guarantee you it's going to need to be a total rebuild. I mean, from ground up. And if I do it, it's going to be very expensive. This is a lot of work, people. I mean, this is not like a walk in the park. This is a lot of work. This particular unit itself, if it wasn't so rare, I probably wouldn't bother doing it to the extent that I'm doing right now on this thing. It's really a very unique machine. And of course, the VTC-7100 is the V-Cord 1, and there was only a couple models made of this particular unit. One was a very big unit, which is virtually non-existent. And this is the black and white unit that a camera used to connect to. But anyways, as you can see, I do very neat work. I've got all the boards on today. The systems board is on, working properly. I've got the actual video card board that goes on the side, which is the biggest issue. All new capacitors are on that thing. And I was just soldering all the wires today, making sure all the connections were in the right spot. And so we're getting to the point where we're going to try to get video to go through it. We're going to try to get video through it. And the biggest problem is setting up the servos, the actual Capistan servo, or Capistan motor, and the actual servo drive for the video heads itself. You do need a pre-recorded tape that was recorded on this machine to do it. I did request one from Dino, who is the person who wants this repaired. Without that, I can't set the proper speeds. And also on top of it, I have a schematic that's so small you can't even read it. So a lot of little issues I'm fighting right now, but I thought you guys would like to know how far I am on this unit. It is really coming along there. So if you have any questions about repairs, contact me, and any questions about this particular model, I'll be glad to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.